All right, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rachak, Kodash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, whomever you may be, wherever you may be, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom. All right, going to get into a little various articles here. A video I'll probably mention a few times by now, just now getting to. Got an AI chat we want to get into, some real brief. All right, but it is semi important there. But we're going to talk about this first and get to this video first. Not really sure where we're going to go with this, but this is the Alex Jones clip, that little video that I spoke about. So let's get into it. I'll just start by playing it. Senator Blumenthal, who quarterbacks a lot of the deep state operations, and particularly against us and Trump, he runs the operation against us on record with the CIA and FBI. It's come out in court and Congress. Introduced a bill that's sitting there, and they said so that when he's president-elect in 19 days, that's what the numbers are showing even clearer now, that they will trigger Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and all these Islamic hordes that are allied with the left. Now, he's talking in a scenario where Trump is made president, okay? And I spoke about this yesterday, man. And I called it, and I'll say it again. It's a beautiful execution, okay? Because because when you look at the polls, which we know it's all fabricated, but in the eyes of the public, that's what we're making this point from. In the eyes of the general population, the polls have Trump winning. If it goes through just like it went with Sleepy Joe, right? Him winning in the polls and everything else, and all of a sudden Kamala wins, those under Trump are going to go crazy because they're going to swear that someone fumbled with the votes or whatever the case may be, and they're going to go nuts, all right? Now, with the case of Trump, as we mentioned, they're painting Trump to be some kind of savior character. Really, he's just a snake waiting to strike. He's coiled up, all right? Kamala, she's painting the light of just not doing anything, all right? As far as us getting out of here, it's better for Trump to become president, because I believe he's going to do a lot of things, okay, to get the ball rolling further. But with Kamala, she's just a bag of air. She's based on doing actually nothing. She's basically riling up the American citizens, all right, playing with their emotions, stirring up, with these fake speeches. And then on the other hand, she's actually doing absolutely nothing. All right, so she's set up to play with the people's emotions. But on Trump's side, he's really talking about doing things. Not saying he's going to really do anything, but I'm just saying on his side, he's talking about doing this, doing that. Okay, so on and so forth. All right, and he's coiled up, like Trump usually is, coiled up, ready to strike. Okay, we spoke about the guillotines, the FEMA camps. He's talking about being a dictator on the first day. He spoke about having a purge. It wasn't an all night, purge, but it was 1 hour. Okay. And who's to say when this hour is going to be? This could be in the wee hours of 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning. All right. A 1 hour purge. Who knows? Okay. But he spoke on that. Okay. So people don't see Trump coming because he's the coiled up snake. They're both snakes, but Trump is the one you don't see. All right. Because he's coiled up a little bit too good. All right, but yeah, man. If Trump becomes president, there's going to be a lot of things he's going to carry out, because the Democrats may not riot and go crazy like the Red would. If Kamala were to win, the Red would go crazy. The Democrats may not exactly do that. They may protest or whatever, but I don't think they're really going to riot like the Reds would if Kamala would become president. But following behind Trump becoming president, I believe a lot of things would begin to start to roll out that wouldn't roll out under Kamala. Okay. But anyways, and that's what he was just talking about there, talking about triggering Black Lives Matter. And I think he mentioned Antifa or something like that. I'll run it back as a matter of fact. Let's do that. Trigger Black Lives Matter. That's what the numbers are showing even clearer now. That they will trigger Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and all these Islamic hordes that are allied with the left to engage in massive civil unrest, and that then Congress has a bill introduced, which is totally unconstitutional and is a coup against the executive branch and executive powers. And the only ones waiting, I always forget, don't I? The only ones waiting on civil unrest, all right, are those that are seeking the Lord and the elites. Okay, the elites want the civil unrest to roll out their plans, and we want the civil unrest to roll out, check of trouble in a spiraling ball rolling downhill. Okay, because all these things have to come to pass as the scriptures have told us. All right. Okay, so we know there's many things that have to happen in order for us to get out of here. That's why we're looking forward to these things. One might call us crazy, but whatever you may believe, whatever you want to call us, we know these things have to happen in order for us to get out of here. So we're looking forward to these things happening. But those that fear the Lord and seeking the Lord, and those elites, the higher ups, the 1%, we're really the only ones looking forward to the chaos. Now, you might have your crazy Americans, like, some crazy rednecks or whatever like that, the average Edomite. Okay, but they're not looking forward to because they have a reason, all right? They're just, they're crazy, all right? But anyways.
Of the federalist system to strip the president of the power to call out the military domestically.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. Visit Infowars.com/show and share the link today.
There have been two main tracks with the globalist. And all I've seen the last few years is preparation for martial law, civil unrest. Race war is the cover for it. The last month, I've seen some retraction of that, or at least preparation for them to go to Plan B and then hand Trump a giant mess in 19 days.
Yeah, that's what pretty much just mentioned, all right? The Democrats screwing everything up for all this time under Biden, and not really under Kamala, but in a sense under Kamala, and then Trump is sent in to be the cleanup man. Okay. I was about to say something else that he just mentioned there. Slipped my mind with that thing. Maybe it'll come back up, maybe not. It doesn't really matter.
And then he'll still have 90 plus until he's even the president. He does have a plan this time to remove all the deep staters. He's got a brain trust of incredible people that are already ferreting away, beavering away to get that done.
Yeah, that's what they tell you. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Everybody always mentions the globalist elite. Well, who are these globalist elite, man? All right, there's a finger, and someone can place a finger on it, but no one's doing that. No one's going to place their finger on who these people are. Look at his face on the screen right now. He's like, I don't know. But yeah, people know. Some people know, okay? These insiders, they know who's running this show, possibly. I'm pretty sure they do. But no one's ever going to say banking families. They're never going to call these names out. They're going to say globalist elite. Well, who are they, man? Okay. Can we get some names here? Can we get some establishments? All right. Can we get some, history there, some back information? You got something more than just a title? But we know what it is.
So I've seen basically 100% of the message by the deep state. War, collapse, cyber attacks, false flags, organized crises. To try to stop Trump, try to stop us and other populists around the globe. I began to see quite a bit of movement, not just here, but geopolitically around the world by the globalists, to begin to at least bring forward the retraction arm to pull back from the brink of destruction. But in the last 48 hours, I have seen them go back into gear, accelerating the preparation for crisis mode to try to scare us into submission. New viral releases, new fake vaccines, massive hype about right-wingers preparing false flag terror attacks. We're seeing the fake reports that militias were about to kill everybody in North Carolina and that the military stopped them. I admit that's a fake report.
Let me see what this says. Tyranny alert puppet. Biden pledges to throw President Trump in prison just 19 days from election as a panicked Politico admits massive victory by 45. Must watch share. Okay, so not too much there.
We got other fake reports of white supremacists showing up at a Trump boat parade. Of course, they were leftist dressed up like that and got caught. We're going to see a lot more of that. But now they've had surrogates in the last 48 hours. I guess this kicked off Monday, so it's more than 48 hours now, almost 3 days. And we've seen Biden and Kamala and a bunch of globalist generals and their surrogates everywhere saying Trump is planning mass arrest, not just of the globalist, not just of the deep staters, but that Trump is going to use the military on the American people. Now, there's been a lot of behind-the-scenes programming there and also public preparation. Remember, earlier this year, Senator Blumenthal, who quarterbacks a lot of the deep state operations, and particularly against us and Trump, he runs the operation against us on record with the CIA and FBI. It's come out in court and Congress. Introduced a bill that's sitting there, and they said so that when he's president-elect in 19 days, that's what the numbers are showing even clearer now, that they will trigger Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and all these Islamic hordes that are allied with the left to engage in massive civil unrest, and that then Congress has a bill introduced, which is totally unconstitutional and is a coup against the executive branch and executive powers under the federalist system, to strip the president of the power to call out the military domestically. And then that's now what Kamala and her surrogates are parroting everywhere, and I have clips of that coming up. Simultaneously, in actual policy through executive orders of Biden, 2 weeks ago, we've talked a lot about this, it hasn't gotten the attention it needed. DOD directive expands domestic military authority to include lethal force during civil unrest. Here's DOD Directive 524001. We'll talk more about that today. So while they're loading the military,
which we've already covered that several times, and many other brothers, you know, it's the elephant in the room, or you know, I mean, I guess you could say that, okay, as of right now, till, you know, the next big thing comes up. All right, but let's keep going.
Gun and putting it to the American people's head and creating cover stories, the military's gonna have to crush the right-wing terrorists that are supposedly hiding under every table or in every bush and in every closet. They are separately accusing Trump of everything that they are preparing to do. Now, obviously, most of the military are good men and women. The leadership at the top is almost completely controlled, as General Flynn is exposed, and his evidence all around us is documented. But they'll need cover stories for this. So the admitted plan is, when President Trump is president-elect, trigger civil unrest around the country blaming Trump. And they'll use some type of event where there's not video of it, where the police shoot a black person, in some cases wrongly, but in most cases, they're in the right. And Black Lives Matter and the Democrats a few days ago, I've got the articles, I left them in the printer, bring them into me, please, tried to say that a black lady that got shot in an apartment building was shot by a white cop, was completely innocent, until they released the body cam footage. He let her stab.
Now, I'm pretty sure we've all seen this. I'm not sure if you've seen the video. Before we even go on, hey, check my my what is it called? I'll just say the biography. I can't remember what it's called, or for these other channels, because you know, stuff like this, you know, you never know how it might hit you. All right, so because me, I'm gonna play the video. All right, you know, I try not, you know, to get hit, but you know how it is, man. All right, so I'm just giving you a heads up. All right, go and look into my whatchamacallit. You know, you should actually. I put up a video. I actually put up a whole video. It was under Helpful Hints and Info, all my different channels. I'm down to a total of 4 now. Okay, so you know, I mean, there you go. That's the warning.
Stab him in the face and chest 3 times with a butcher knife. The police have been so conditioned to not want to go to prison via Soros prosecutor, they defend themselves, that the cop let her stab him with a 10-inch butcher knife at least 3 times before he shot her. You see in the footage, the blood dripping all over him, and then we have photos of the police officer. That's coming up. So they're looking for events like this to be the trigger, and it's not a real war between black people and white people.
And something like this is really considered a smaller event because this is part of when you want to go into law enforcement. That's part of what you may have to deal with. You never know, okay? Because there's a lot of crazies out there. All right, but think about this event with multiple individuals involved, and then maybe you have only one or two officers. They can't defend themselves, except for, of course, with their guns. But maybe the that crowd of people, they also have weapons. Okay, maybe they also have guns or something like that. Okay, and so that's what he's pretty much speaking on when he says events like this. All right, because they can grow to be bigger type of events, more than just this isolated event right here. It can grow to be bigger things, which need bigger force behind it, and that's where that bill or whatever that 5240.01 comes into from the DOD. All right.
It is the globalists, the establishment, that's robbing and ruling over us, that's dissolved our borders, created massive inflation, started all these wars, promoting pedophilia.
There it is again. The globalist. Well, who are the globalists? All right, they keep saying, why you going through that for? Why you just keep saying the globalist elite? You see, we know these people are never going to say that. All right, because it's people like this. Alex Jones. What's that one chick? Man, I can't even think of her name right now. All right, the so-called black chick. I forget her daggone name. Certain people like that, even if they're not insiders, some of them are just allowed to go, okay? Because it stirs up people, okay? It stirs people up, all right? And then eventually when they want to shut you down, they'll shut you down. They'll find a way. They'll catch you up in your words, whatever the case may be, and they'll shut you down, all right? But yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that people like this, get so much information, all right, and are able to bring it out, okay? And Alex Jones is supposed to be selling InfoWars, okay, at some point in the near future. He's supposed to be selling InfoWars, but I guess he's just going to continue on under another label or title or whatever. But he's going to sell the actual InfoWars, so I don't know what's going to be up with that. And I guess that's oh, check this out though, because I remember what you see here on the screen, not the crazy on the left, but the cop on the right. Check this out, okay? Because he just mentioned the black and white thing. We talk about that all the time too. Skin color. A lot of people are still fooled by skin color. I give it to this younger generation, this Gen Z coming up. They're not so, not all of them, but the majority of them, they don't really care about skin color, which is cool because skin color doesn't matter, but nationality does. But now, in this topic that we're talking about here, that black and white thing has been something that's been prevalent for a very, very long time. Now, and I'm not even going to just give it away because, the talk is this white cop, right, shooting this so-called black chick, right? So let me play the video.
They need this to be the cover for some type of operation like this. And of course, first they said it was a white cop. It's an Asian cop. She tried to stab him in the eye. Did stab him in the eye. Shock video, woman attacking cop with knife, shot dead. And again, before the footage was released, the headlines were, white cop shoots unarmed black woman.
You see? White cop shoots unarmed black woman. Turns out she was armed. She was the aggressor. And the cop wasn't white. He was so-called Asian. All right? So this is the skewing of headlines. And as we always talk about, when you're dealing with, the news and the media, it's all about perception, okay? It's all about perception. They need you to perceive things. They need you to see things in the way that they want you to see things and not the full truth, okay? Now, if they do show you some full truth, guaranteed there's some reason behind that, all right?
So they'll use something like that, like George Floyd, who had enough fentanyl in his system to kill 3 men, had a bunch of other drugs in him as well. Autopsy report said he died of a drug overdose, but that got suppressed in the trial. And even the prosecutor that quit has gone public and filed a suit because they were fired for not wanting to put an innocent man in prison who is rotting in prison right now. So
I was going to speak on the George Floyd, but you know, it's old news now. Hey, he still was a wicked Israelite one way or another. All right, and there's more to all that story there, you know, but we're not getting to all those particulars. All right, because we all know about that. Okay, with the knee on the neck crime for his mom and stuff, and they're saying there was drugs in his. How do we even know there are drugs in his system? Maybe they're just saying that. Maybe it really was, but the cause of death cannot be drugs in the system. All right, when he had a knee on his neck for I don't know how long it was, but anyways, like I said, let's get going.
that is the reality. Now, I don't care if it was a white woman or a black woman or a brown woman. If I was a cop responding to a 911 call and a woman comes chasing me with a butcher knife, I'm going to shoot her long before she stabs me in the face and chest. But that's the police now. I see these videos where the cops will have, particularly a woman, point a gun at them. And the cops will sit there for like a minute. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. The woman's like, I'm not going to drop it. And then I saw that video in LA like last year, starts shooting at people. They finally run her over. And just hit her in the knee and knock her down. Very, very skilled. I won't be able to do that while I'm getting shot at. I'd just run her straight over. So, this is the crazy town. But that's the type of trigger that will be used. We'll get to more of that coming up. Now, why are they in such panic mode? And I'll walk through everything I just talked about with details and documents and videos.
Oh,
Polymarket is
real quick before we continue on. And what he just said, I'm going to shoot her long before she does this. You know, I mean, a person has a weapon, okay. Now, of course, you're not wanting to get stabbed or whatever. If they take one swipe at you and miss, it's clear to understand you shooting them. But if you also have a taser, why not tase the person? Okay. But what he just said, there's many, you know, racist cops out there, so to speak, who think like him. I'm just going to shoot you. I don't care what nobody says, or my life is on the line. I'm going to shoot you. There's a lot of cops out there that think like that too. Okay. Going back to speaking about that purge, you don't think there's a lot of aggressive, you know, demon ass cops out there? Because there are a lot of dirty cops. Okay. All right. And they will love for, you know, to have a night, day, whatever, hour, whenever it may be. All right. To purge, to go in, you know, they probably go right in their computer, look up some of the biggest drug dealers they've been wanting to bust or something like that and try to catch them up, or who knows, all right? Or just go kill innocents because they hate that nationality. They hate that race of people. Oh, I don't like the niggers. Let me go shoot one down. Oh, you chink, get out of here, you know, and just, you get the point, man, okay? Because here in Babylon the Great, these Edomites believe this place belongs to them. And guess what? This is Edomite land. You can have it, okay? This place was built on the blood, sweat, tears, rape, robbery, stealing, and pillaging off the backs of the Israelites, okay? And its foundation, you know, pretty much from these devils, you know, which dabble in magic and sorcery and witchcraft. And that's what it's like. A cauldron, you know, the witches, they get the big pots. It's called a cauldron. That's what America is. It's a big old cauldron, okay? Big old cauldron just brewing and brewing and brewing, okay? And the Lord's about to kick this pot over, man. You can have this place because the Lord's going to set it ablaze, man.
One of the most accurate indexes.
Oh, look, we just talked about this. The polls, you see the numbers there? 60.5% for Trump, 39.3% for Kamala. These numbers go all the way to the day of deciding who's going to be president. And she wins. Oh, man, I want to see what's going to happen, man. Because Trump can't have his numbers up and then all of a sudden she wins. Okay? But, and once again, now we know this voting system is a whole sham. I'm just making the point, though. All right?
It looks at polls, betting, everything. They've got Trump at a 60.5% chance of defeating the appointed one, the selected one, Kamala at 39.3. Kamala is totally desperate. That's why she's asking for another debate. The front runner doesn't ask for another debate. Trump is the front runner. They're claiming Trump's a coward. Trump is on so many shows it makes my head spin. He was on shows this morning, on Fox this afternoon, at a town hall, on all these other programs. He is doing Joe Rogan next week.
Which would make sense. Okay, why if I pretty much, if the people see and look at me as if I won that debate that we had, what's my point of going to another debate? I need to run with the fire that's been given to me. I don't need another debate. Okay, if they see that you lost the debate and I won, I don't need to debate with you again, because now I'm just bringing things back to your level playing field. You see? And why would I do that? Why would I want to put things on a level playing field? If they say that I won the debate, I'm going to run with that. I'm not going to have another debate. But yeah, and I have been hearing, a couple, videos out there with Kamala calling Trump scared to have another debate. But you see how, things make sense, given that point. Now, I'm not saying I'm exactly right. I'm just, making the point there.
And if Kamala doesn't back out, she's doing it. So just know that. Tomorrow's news today. And I'll just leave it there. That means right down the street from my office, there'll be a lot of Secret Service swarming about. Rogan's studio. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know how the hell she's accepted this. She's such a buffoon. And even if Rogan's nice to her and just lets her talk, the more we hear from her, the more we hate her. This woman that polled at 2% in the Democrat primaries. Wow. So even Politico, well, here's the headlines. Federal employees are worried about a return of Donald Trump to the White House. Deep state panicking, that's the quote, over prospect of Trump comeback, Politico warns.
And I believe these are all like fake titles made, just set up, okay, just to cause a little drama and suspense there, okay.
Trump continues to surge in battleground states. And that's even in, again, polls we broke down with Roger Stone yesterday, where they are, in particular poll he listed, sampling 8% more Democrats than Republicans. Well, in major national studies, multiple ones by Gallup and others, the Republican Party, for the first time since Ronald Reagan, is now the majority party of voters polled. What's that tell you? So they're still sampling more Democrats, depending on the poll, between 5 and 15%. And then you wonder why Trump's only leading by 5 points in these polls. Well, because they're adding up to 15 points extra of Democrats they're polling. And the majority are still saying they're going to vote for the establishment globalist New World Order. InfoWars is up for sale November 13th. That's 28 days from the...
So that was the end of that video there. I don't think he's talking about anything else. Yeah, just talking about some craziness. All right, so yeah, like I said, nothing too deep there. Just an interesting video, given some of those things that he mentioned in the video. Okay, so yeah, just a little quick AI chat. I'm sorry, not AI chat. I'm about to get into AI chat. I mean, various articles there. Just an interesting topic. Just looking into things and listening. Just paying attention to what's going on. So pretty much nothing else to say. I know I didn't give you any scripts. I don't think I gave you any scriptures, but really, it was really more so listening in, and just paying attention to what was being talked about and so on and so forth. All right, with the the current event situations, all these different things. So we'll leave it at that. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.